minds of
yeah.
another person
Yes, well,
is a
the
root
streaming
cause
thing,
of the
man.
high rates of
Okay.
GBV
Ziggy
experienced
actually
across
invited me
the
today
continent.
to
Ian goes
talk
further
in
emphasized that
Orange, but
African
yo,
women have not been afforded
I
their
had so
full
much work,
human
man.
rights, and that the problematic mindsets that shape women started decades ago, particularly
Uh,
how women are socialized. Namibia and South Africa have pledged to facilitate joint marketing opportunities to boost domestic, regional, and
mm,
international tourism. This is contained in a Memorandum of Understanding on Cooperation in the Field of Tourism. The MOU was signed by the respective tourism ministers of Namibia and South Africa in Pretoria yesterday. The agreement allows for the establishment of a joint tourism technical committee comprising 5 members from relevant government departments, agencies, or the private sector from the two countries. The technical committee will be expected to examine tourism projects and monitor the progress of the implementation. The agreement also binds the two countries to share experiences in recovering artistic and archaeological patrimony to adapt those for tourism purposes. Transnamib says a train carrying 20 wagons have derailed between Aus and Lüderitz last night. Its spokesperson Abigail Robbenheimer in a statement says 2 people have died in the accident. She says there were 4 staff members on board at the time. Robbenheimer says the family of the deceased has been notified and that representatives from the Transnamib area is providing them with the necessary support. The surviving staff members are receiving medical support. She says Transnamib has
so,
immediately activated its emergency response plan and will release further information as it becomes available. An
uh,
investigation will be initiated
you know
to
what I was
determine the
thinking?
cause of the incident, she added.
They've got vapes to
The
replace
United Arab
cigarettes.
Emirates
They should
says
have
it is willing to support
vapes for
Namibia in
cigars.
opening a diplomatic mission in the Gulf state.
Cigar guys would
Maharsh
never go
Sayed
for that.
Al
I
Hameli, the
know.
UAE ambassador to
It's
Namibia
like
based in
those
South Africa,
electronic
paid a
lighter
courtesy
flavor
call on
things.
President Hage Geingob on the
Yes, sir.
margins of the
They're
state
still
visit
I
in
did
expensive.
think about
Pretoria.
electronic cigars.
We only live the last hour, my brother. Yeah, I'm saying we are only live between 11 and 12. The first 2 hours are pre-packaged. Okay, and now, yeah, they are way beyond. They're literally at the top top. Should I push it again? Okay, and now. Okay, this is Okay. the highest I have, both on. Yeah,
fight for your tail. One day they came up from behind me, steady authority like the towering hand of God, and said, "Bang, bang, you're dead, little brown man." Bunkai, Senbon Seskula. Check the hazardous venom from the son of Lazarus. The aim is indiscriminate, like don't know who the target is, cause anyone can get it, a grandma or son. With arthritis, at night with the bleeding pen, with the power to make soldiers from civilians. So
But
in
you
my
are connected,
dream,
right?
I hope they write that I was righteous. I
But yeah, definitely bringing it out. So I hope I'm sure our listeners know throughout there. Anything,
You
just
with your phone.
yeah.
We're good. And that's what it is, man. Freestyle Friday in the background. The sounds of Black Volcano. This one is called I Hope They Write That I'm Righteous. As the big homie Mark Mushiba, as well as the big homie Ali the Dude, right on NBC National Affair. Man, tonight we've got special guest all the way from Botswana because hip hop is universal like that. It's been a while, I think, since we've had like a proper live Freestyle Friday show because yo, the influx has been crazy, man. You know, we've been having a lot of trap rappers, and we love you, but yo, there's no home for y'all, man. You know what I mean? It's kind of how it works. You know what I mean? So if you're like 6ix9ine or like, I mean, I had a group of like trap artists in here, and for the lack of better words, I didn't understand anything at all. It's not because I'm hating on the genre. It's honestly just because I genuinely didn't understand y'all. So tonight we've got the big homie Harry MC in studio, as well as the big homie from Botswana, man. Harry is I think he kind of just like changed what do you call it careers and transitioned to the talking community, man. Harry was good, blood.
Hey, chilling, fam. How's it going?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Man's been busy with other things, yeah.
Hey, fam. It's all about communication, you know. Whether in rhyme form, over beats, or acapellas, fam. You know.
You know what
Still the same person.
Yeah. But it's good to have you back, man. The big homie from all the way from Botswana as well, man. The network is something doing with us today. But this guy, I think when I met you guys last week, we were talking about how when you guys started at UNAM, for example, you know what I mean? It was way back in the days when Verbalize existed. And so these are the guys that are like the forefathers or like the initial initiators of African hip hop. And I mean like back when hip hop music had a message. No, for real, not now when it's like bad, yeah. And so what's good, fam?
Good man, how you doing?
Nah, easy, always
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah. No, I'm glad to be here.
Yeah.
It's been almost 15 years plus since I was
For real,
back.
for
Yes, I
real.
was back here. And it's a happy moment. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
back then, I don't think I'd have ever gotten on radio. To be honest, the
at
closest we
all.
got was UNAM Radio.
Yeah,
But really appreciate some of the moves that are actually being made. So it's not even the trappers. They make things happen. So shout out to them. You know. Shout out to
I've got a different opinion, but
them.
I think it's always good to take a look at sort of like how that started. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because look, I remember my first time at Rebelize. I think I was grade 10 at the time, and somebody invited me. And I still recall it was at a tennis court. I think it's when
Oh
you
wow. So that was early days.
that was
That was
early.
even before I came.
No, no, sorry, grade 8 actually. And I remember that day. I remember Mark Bush was wearing a black T-shirt and he had like a white T-shirt under. And I recall the dude was rapping about cyborgs and like computer codes. And I was grade 8, and I was like, I have no idea what this dude is talking about, but this sounds dope. But let's take a look at the revolutionary of like how hip hop kind of found a body
Yeah.
in Namibia.
Well, for me, right, I got here in 2003,
Mhm.
and I was already like right off the boat with my baggy jeans and Timberland boots and the whole nine. I found there was a group called CA Section back in the day.
Yeah.
My boy E-Rays, my boy MCX, um, and there was and these guys pretty much were holding it down when I got here. They had been here a little bit before me, and of course when I got in, there was guys like Stalin. You know, Stalin was
Stalin.
Stalin. Stalin's a producer.
Oh
Yeah, so
yeah.
I kind of came up under that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So and around that time with the poetry movement that was happening, there
Mhm.
was also a battle rap scene kind of brewing. Plus, not it was, and I think it was a high school thing if I remember correctly, because I remember going to I think I went to a high school, or they came to UNAM or something like that, and man, I got burnt so bad.
What
It
happened?
was
What happened there?
horrible.
What is?
And low wins over everything. You can say
Yeah,
what you want, right? I'll
yeah.
come there with my English freestyles and
But soon as
everything.
the lingo hits,
Hey, it's over, and that's why I wasn't mad.
yeah,
Because it's a happy moment when you see
yeah,
a
yeah.
crowd and they're cheering for someone who's rapping in the local language. That's the hip hop we want. So around that time, I was like, you know what, hip hop here is safe because the people resonate with it. You know,
Yeah.
and the same thing was happening back home as well. But fast forward 2006, I remember Energy FM, right? They had a competition, a freestyle competition, not a battle, but a freestyle competition. Okay, and what you had to do is it was like a round robin. You had to play 16s,
Yeah.
and after a certain number of people were picked, those guys went head to head, right? And I remember winning that competition, and that was like that's a mark in my life, something I've never forgotten because that got me to Cape Town to watch one of my favorite artists in the world,
Who?
Jay-Z.
What?
Yeah. From here, we took the bus. It was an all expenses paid trip. Took the bus, Cape Town for the concert. Took the bus back. All expenses paid off of just rapping for 2 hours off the top.
So
That happened here.
you guys are like the Freestyle Friday type king.
Of
The
course, I mean
freestyle people.
Freestyle Friday. Like when I hear Freestyle Friday, my brain goes to town. So, but
It
yeah,
kind of takes me back to you remember like when Jim started like in the basement and
yeah,
Big
yeah,
T
Big
yeah.
Tigger
Big
and
That's
Tigger.
right. And back then, radio was like that.
mm,
It was exactly like that. Like nobody would be in the studio, just the hip hop guys. And for 3-4 hours straight,
Yeah.
it's just either really underground hip hop.
And look, I think it was always like such a rare commodity, you know what I mean? It was like one of those where people had to hear like carry cassettes and I recall still like I got the very first vinyl I got was I can't recall, but it was like a Wu-Tang album. It was a Wu-Tang Clan album. What is the album's name? But they had the
36 chambers.
yeah, they had their logo there, the very first one.
Yeah,
And I got that because I watched the Fila documentaries. What happened in
yeah,
back in the day was that Fila was such a low brand, right? And
yes,
so because the Wu Tang guys didn't have a lot of money,
that's right.
they figured we're gonna go buy this brand and make it work. And so
That's right.
Baggy Pants was birthed through Wu Tang Clan.
Yeah,
These guys took Fila
yeah.
as a brand and said, we are going to shoot videos.
You're
And so
very
if
correct.
you check the Wu-Tang Clan's
Yeah,
videos, the very first three
yeah,
ones, right? They had a lot of filler going on in
yeah.
there. And
Even
that's how
even funny enough, even Timberland, right? Timberland in back then in the 80s and the 90s, those were working people's boots.
yeah.
They were working people's boots, and because they were working people's boots, they were affordable, right?
Yeah.
And along with the Filas, along with the Champion windbreakers,
Yeah.
that were affordable at the time, these guys actually made that a lifestyle thing, like where now it becomes fashion. And
Yeah.
and back then, Tommy Hilfiger himself actually booked Raekwon and Ghostface Killer
Mm.
to actually run to do the runway thing in their baggy jeans, in their Timberlands, in their windbreakers. But everything was Tommy Hilfiger except for the shoes, which were Timberlands. So
Clothes meant for like
Mm.
workers,
for
bro.
work, yeah, imagine.
But look, that's the beauty of hip hop, and I think the story that it sort of encapsulates,
Yeah,
and that's the kind of story we don't share now. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
like hip hop has always had this. I think it's the biggest genre on earth right now as far as dressing, the way we speak, the way we communicate with each
yeah,
other. But unfortunately, it's also one of the most like fragmented
Yeah,
Uh,
that's very true. I think, hip hop it's a borrowing culture, right?
yeah,
Because what we do is we take from people
yeah.
and then we repurpose and make it cool. You know what
Mm,
I mean? Like
yeah,
I could take like my turtleneck right now, right?
yeah,
And I'm gonna wear it with like jeans and it looks cool. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
anybody else is gonna wear a turtleneck with like a jacket, like a formal jacket,
And
and
official
like
shoes.
formal pants and official shoes. So people think we are kind of like clowns,
Mm.
but we're cool
Mm,
clowns because after 5 years, your son is gonna take the same turtleneck that I'm wearing. He's gonna wear it
mm.
with clogs and jeans. See what I'm saying?
Hip hop,
So
thou art the wayward son.
Yeah.
That's
I
yeah,
mean, when you say that, it really throws me back to, not as if I was there. When the riots happened in New York and they started looting,
yeah,
yeah.
like you said, they took old things and repurposed them. How did DJ start?
Mm.
With stolen equipment from the looting,
Yeah.
yeah,
and someone figured out the whole round robin
yeah,
thing, or someone figured out the scratching off of repurposed um stuff.
yeah. Actually, I've been
Mm.
doing some research trying to find out who created the crossfader.
Hmm.
You know
Mm.
the crossfader?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, because that thing changed the game.
yeah.
RZA says he created it.
Reason.
Yeah, but I feel like there were people already doing that before him. Uh, Grandmaster Flash.
Yeah,
Mm.
If
Yeah.
you, he also says he created it.
yeah. I would. It's more plausible with Grandmaster Flash, and there
Yeah.
was the other one, the one he was beefing with, and
Yes,
both of
yes.
them claim to be
Was it
the
Grandmaster
fathers of
Flowers?
DJ.
It is Grandmaster Flash.
It's Grandmaster Flash, right?
Yeah,
Grandmaster Flash
that's
and
possibly the most commercial. That's possibly like the first commercial type of dude that kind
Yeah,
of.
because a lot people say what RZA is saying is he Grandmaster Flash would lower the volume on one side
Mhm.
and then scratch on the other side, and vice versa.
So
Which
what did
which
Reza
is
do then?
what RZA
just
did
one
was
one button.
he made that in one button, where when you push the button this way, the volume that side is lowered, and then when you push the button
So
that way,
what was he using at the time?
that you see that's the question. That's why I'm like he was still when Grandmaster Flash was doing his thing, RZA was still very young. Feel me? So I don't
Yeah.
know. So I think I actually lean with Grandmaster Flash as
No,
well.
I lean with Grandmaster as well because so Grandmaster is probably like the first recorded
Yeah, like
yeah,
scratching
yeah,
and
all
everything.
because the
Yes,
equipment he had at the time
yes,
and
true.
what it could allow. Look, if we go all the way back to like say like 1973,
Yeah,
DJ Koork
yeah,
figuring out a loop by mistake at his
yeah,
sister's birthday party, you know what I
yeah,
mean? That's 40 plus years ago. And
yeah,
then he realized, oh no, the people are like grooving to the loop, you know
yes,
what I mean?
yes,
That's originally where
yeah,
the 8-bit count started,
yeah.
okay? And then after that, we just started like modifying what hip hop
What
was.
was already there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we borrow, right? And we're not respected for it. But it's okay.
Uh,
You know what I'm saying? It's okay because we keep growing. And hip hop is the reason why I'm able to come back to Windhoek and hang out with you guys, for example. You know what I
let's
mean?
take a look at the scene right now because I know
Yeah.
you're in Botswana and Harry was talking about how there is not a shortage of rappers in Botswana, blood. Like if you want rappers, blood, man's gotta go all the way to Botsizi. Yeah?
I wasn't even there for a long time, bro.
Come on.
We have DJ rappers. There's one guy who will DJ 1 minute and then is freestyling with the rappers the next. And then he's playing a piano the very next after that. But yeah, the scene in Botswana is it's dope. I really wish we could merge with Namibia because what I've noticed is in Namibia there's a lot of infrastructure. There's a lot of spaces, a lot of establishments that are willing to receive the hip hop that is here. While in Botswana, it's like there's a bunch of rappers and not enough places to go to for them to showcase their talent. So that's basically the scene in Bots. We've got the rappers, but we have a bit of a shortage of the infrastructure, but we're hoping to change that very soon.
Is it because of the stigma of the genre?
Yeah, I think hip hop has gone through a lot of iterations in a very short time in
Yeah.
Botswana. Because remember, we also have Motswako, which originated in Botswana and then went to South Africa, right? And blew up in South Africa with Double HP and all of those guys with Kulichana. And we kind of were left with a void.
Mm.
And we didn't really do enough to work with what we had. We kept going to South Africa to try and blow up there rather than developing our own infrastructure. So that kind of messed us up a bit.
So like notably, who are some of the notable names in Botswana hip
Yeah,
hop?
no, I can tell you that.
Uh-huh.
I'll mention one. I know my guys back home watching are gonna laugh at me because they know me and my character. I don't know if you guys know Stagger.
I know the other dude. I don't think he's really that hip hop, but it's like a comedian type guy.
William Last KRM.
William, dude, he
Yeah.
did this song where the hood was wearing like Dickies and
Yeah, so William Last is, I call him a comedian that raps. I don't call him a rapper.
but here's the thing, he yeah.
Hey man, I'm very clear about that. He's a comedian that raps.
So like Little Dicky, or
Yeah.
6ix9ine.
No. Whew. Let's not go there, please.
no,
We don't deal with rodents, sir.
wow, wow.
Is
So you would say Little Dicky is not a rapper?
Little Dicky's not a rapper.
no, but is he though?
I would say he is.
Really?
Little Dicky, yeah.
Would you
Free to
say?
fry the little Dicky.
Would you say?
Yeah, that was-
Would you say? Would you say Terrence Howard is a rapper? The actor.
No.
No.
But remember he's in Hustle and Flow.
But does he have a body of work? Does
Is
he
Terrence
have-
a rapper?
No, he's not.
No.
Does he do it consistently?
But he won an Oscar for it.
Well, I mean, Wayne Brady also got an what you call a Grammy.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. But does that make him a rapper also?
Oh, not for rapping though, but I mean,
But he freestyles. Though.
he does very
yeah,
well.
but what I'm saying is, it's like, didn't Terrence's character demand that he does?
Yes, exactly.
see what I
You
mean?
See that? Yeah, you are correct. Now, rappers, do we rap with our government names or do we have characters?
I know also no man. Terrence Howard is an actor.
That's the point, right? So is he a rapper or was he an acting
Yeah,
rapper?
That's
yeah,
what I'm
but-
saying. That's what I'm saying
yeah.
about William Last. That's what I'm saying. He's a
But
comedian. who
that's
raps.
What are their careers? That's what I'm saying.
But
So
does Terrence have a workout?
What put
No.
what put them on the map?
It doesn't have an
So
album out.
That's why I
He's
would-
got a single out that he produced
Yeah.
in the song.
Even Shaq has
No,
albums.
Shaq is a rapper. Don't get it twisted.
okay.
He's a rapper.
Now we have to debate, but we can't. We
And a
can't
pretty
spend too much time.
and a pretty good one as that.
Yeah, those albums were nice.
Yeah.
Shaq, the thing goes krrrr.
No. Oh,
No,
wait,
no,
okay.
no, no.
Not
We're talking,
no,
we're
like
talking
Shaq.
Shaquille
Shaquille
O'Neal
O'Neal
has 2 albums.
2 albums.
Can't
Both-
Stop the Rain
Both
and
very
No,
good.
okay. So yeah.
It's the ill I'll scratch.
But
about to
yeah,
catch
I
that.
know
No.
Shaquille's projects, right? But like, was that the Shaquille we got before the Shaquille we knew in sport?
It was at the same time. He did both at the same time.
So then now you need to quantify it. Okay, so Shaquille, one of the greatest ball players
Yes,
in the world.
agreed.
Great. Now, which came first?
Ball came first.
The ball
came first.
Shaquille or the hip hop Shaquille?
Well,
So-
as far as we know,
The ball Shaquille.
The ball Shaquille.
Great.
Yes.
So now, can we then conclude and say that the ripple effects is what happened?
Oh,
there?
so what you think is he might have benefited from the ball?
Of course.
No. Yeah,
Okay.
Shaquille is different.
Because Kobe Bryant has an album.
Yeah,
Jason
no,
Kidd,
yeah,
and
I
then
see.
also-
Look, I
Yeah,
see. Kobe, but I'm
let's
like,
stay with Shaquille. So what I'm saying is,
But they didn't blow.
with Shaq, right? What he just whispered now, his albums
blew
were
up.
legit. Yeah.
They were
That's
Can't
what
Stop
I'm,
the Rain
yeah,
was
yes, Can't Stop the Rain
legit.
was like that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But the fact that he was a baller first takes precedence, correct?
I agree.
All right.
I agree.
So chances are that I would have gone to listen to his work
because
because I was a ball fan.
nah,
first.
the hip hop doesn't work that way, bro. Like we will trash you. You can be Lionel Messi.
I listen.
I think
look,
we heard his album because he was he was famous.
You think so?
I think so.
But
I
here's
think-
the thing also,
yeah.
it was actually a good project.
It was a good project. Both of them were good. I mean, this dude had
So,
Wu-Tang on his album.
Yeah, and Ill Scratch.
but now, it's one of those things. Are you having these guys on your project?
Because yeah,
you're
that's a
good.
good point. That's a good question.
Okay, but also
Um,
okay, but why I would also say Shaq is, I would say, you know, hip hop inclined. Like, you know, I wouldn't pull him out and say, you know, maybe he's both. He's a good ball player who happens to thrive there, but
he's
you know,
also a
he's
decent
also
rapper. Yeah.
is the fact that he's always been he's always had an affinity to hip hop. It wasn't a fad or a phase where it came and went. Fine, he did not necessarily
mm,
continue releasing albums, but he signed artists, he had Twism Records.
Yes.
On
Yeah.
top of that, even later on when people forgot he rapped, he was still there popping and locking with Jabberwockies.
That's right.
And
let's take it back to Shaq Diesel. Remember Shaq Diesel?
Yep.
92, 3, 4.
Yep.
Biological didn't bother.
And there was a song I think it was called, what was the group called? What was the guy? It was called Fushinkins or whatever.
Oh, Fushnikins.
Fushnikins. Remember that song? It was
yes.
called What's Up, Dog?
Yes.
Can we rock? What's up?
Can we
Yeah.
rap? What's up? Remember
What's
that
up,
song?
Doc? Yeah. Oh man, chip food.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the birth of mumble
Okay.
rap?
No.
No,
No.
No.
Don't do the fools like that.
Look, I would understand why you would think that.
No, I'm not thinking it. I heard someone say it. It was one of these shows where people were giving their opinion that look, we cannot trash in inverted commas mumble rappers because we don't understand what they're saying. Because let's look at groups like Das Effects, bum stickity bop bop.
But that's not mumbling.
It's not mumbling. And what's his name? Chip Fu. Like,
Mm.
if you find someone who can quote him,
Good luck.
yeah, you know.
All busy bone.
And who else did we have? Even the white dude Snow with Informer.
Yeah.
By him, you could if
You could
yeah.
if you listen
And
understand.
eventually we did.
Yeah, we heard it long enough. We needed 20
Yeah.
years.
20 years, but we eventually
But
did.
what was the issue with Snow?
It was just too fast. He was tongue twisted. It was too quick, and we were listening too slow.
Overcompensation, maybe.
Maybe. I don't.
Nah, I don't think it was
I don't know.
overcompensation. I think the
It was just the
whole
style, I
accent
think.
and the
Yeah.
style. He wasn't trying to be and controversial statement. After they saw what I don't know if it's whether they saw what happened with Vanilla Ice or whatever, but I think white rappers took themselves very seriously.
Yeah.
If we look at House of Pain,
Yes, of course.
But those guys
except
are
Mark
before.
Look, everybody
Those guys are
after
before
Vanilla
Snow.
Ice, everybody after Vanilla Ice that was like predominantly like a white rapper.
Yeah.
Always seemed like they had to up one.
they had to prove that.
Yeah,
hey,
of course,
not-
the reality is you're kind of like on the outside,
Yeah.
whether you like it or not. So you really have to prove yourself to be taken
I
seriously.
mean, why do you think R.A. the Rugged Man doesn't get his flowers? That dude.
That dude is crazy. You know, he says that his first album, they didn't want to put him on the cover because they didn't know what the reception was going to be. And Biggie actually spoke for him. Biggie was like, nah, can't do that. Put the guy's face on the cover.
Look,
R.A. the Rugged.
guys, while we're here, we're gonna do like a quick hip hop lesson here.
All right.
See, the Wu-Tang Clan was, in my opinion, one of the only hip hop groups that everybody in that group was just like phenomenal.
Facts.
Ragged Man,
Facts.
Method Man,
Facts.
dirty old bastard. Like,
What do you think?
it's like every single one of them.
Everyone had their vibe.
Everybody had their
that
vibe. And at the time,
Yep.
who was busy killing hooks independently? Nate Dogg.
Oh yeah. No, but the Wu, you're very correct. Like I have no
The Wu was
objections there.
different, guys.
These
I
guys,
won't
these
lie.
guys, of course, the labels would push certain members, like Method Man, for example.
Yeah, Method Man
you
was
know,
one of those.
like Raekwon, for example.
But didn't they
and
have their
Ghost.
own independent deals? Like
No,
with
they
other
had
people?
they did both.
Yeah.
So they had
Were they assigned? So they were a collective,
So
yes,
yes, they
but
were collective.
independent in a sense.
Yeah.
yes. So
Okay.
each one not really independent, but so they were signed to a label as a
Mhm.
group, and then each one of them could sign to a
To
different
another
label
label.
as a
So,
single artist.
so when they signed as distribution, rather at the time as a group.
So the distribution was via Loud Records, who they were signed to.
Yeah.
And individually, they could also sign distributions with different labels.
Oh yeah,
as well.
because then it wouldn't be Wu Tang. It would be like Method Man, Redman. It would be
Yeah.
But
all
the
the
But they would
Republic.
even still keep elements of the Wu. Like if you look at
Yes.
Method Man's
Yeah, Method
But-
Man is
but-
still.
font, this the Wu.
but where RZA was smart is he executive produced every single album.
Yeah.
So the Wu Tang label was
Mm.
all, regardless of where they went.
Yeah.
It
If
was
you
on
flip
the-
your CD around, you
Yeah.
see the Wu Tang label.
And I think the reason why Wu Tang was such a formidable force, I mean, in terms of balance of power and stuff,
Yeah.
is because it wasn't a group of artists that just vibed with each other and they clicked. It was actually a very well thought out
Yeah.
type of thing. It was like the Spice Girls.
Oh,
They
wow.
were,
Of hip hop.
What a segue.
No, but
What
yeah.
a segue.
Yeah,
but they were big
Wow.
and they were
Backstreet-
orchestrated. It was
Backstreet Boys,
not
then?
a natural
Backstreet
coming
Boys, yes.
together.
So
Backstreet Boys, I don't know
I'll
much
say
about
this,
them,
guys.
but
Yeah.
Do watch the series.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's 3 seasons. I mean, it gives you some kind of like an outlook.
Here's the
of-
thing,
of
though.
how the
I
group
do
was
feel, of all genres, hip hop has got like a history.
Yes, and a history that we can trace, you and
Yes.
I, because it's within our lifetime. It's not like
Yeah.
in the 40s or in the 50s.
50-year-old this year.
It's only 50.
This year.
Yeah. So we are when we were born, hip hop was what 20 years old.
And here's the beauty as well. You realize that it's the only form of genre that is a community.
True.
There
True.
is no R&B community on
No,
earth.
there isn't.
No, my piano community.
Even the
there's
rock and roll
nothing.
community doesn't exist anymore.
Doesn't. But it transcended because of the 5 pillars of people, from like your
That's
your
right.
b-boy to everywhere.
That's right.
It transformed itself into the manner in which we speak.
Exactly.
Modern dress code is partially inspired from hip hop.
This guy here, if it wasn't for hip hop, I don't think he'd be an orator the way he is.
Yeah.
True story.
So myself, like everything I do, even my marriage,
Mm.
my wife is a hip hop head. Like she recites Biggie songs that I don't even know.
Mm.
So I
I
was
think it's also
shaped
because
by
at the
it.
time, let's be honest, man, hip hop spoke like, dude. I remember the first time I listened to Dear Mama. I was
Yo,
in primary
bro.
school, and my brother would tell you this. I forgot about it, but I used to write down. I wrote down Eminem's "Cleaning Out My Closet." I
Yeah.
know it from the top to the bottom.
Yeah,
I know Biggie's "Juicy."
yeah.
Tupac's "Dear Mama," "Hit
Yeah.
'Em Up," "Life Goes
You know,
On."
you know what's funny about Tupac?
Yeah,
When I first listened to Tupac, I was in primary school.
we all had that inauguration.
That's how timeless he is.
Tupac was there even before the 90s.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of even Tupac fans only heard of him after Death Row.
That's right. Actually, no, bro. A lot of Tupac fans heard of him or heard him after he died.
Yeah.
Majority of his fans today,
Mm-hmm.
right,
And I've argued with many. of
heard him
them.
for the
Yo.
first time after he died.
Mm.
Because you have to remember, Tupac died in 1996.
Imagine that.
Do you know how old I was in 1996, bro?
Shucks,
I was
how old
13 years old.
was I in 1996? Yeah, man.
So when you think about it like that, you realize that, oh my
Yeah.
goodness,
Mm.
1996 was
He's the modern day Bob Marley.
He is. So when I say to
he
you,
might
for
even be
example,
bigger.
king of hip hop, immediately you go,
Nas.
nah, no, no, that's not fair, because like That's because you were a hip hop head. You know what I mean? So you've
Of
got
course.
Current,
okay.
as in current, king,
Nah,
like of all
nah,
time.
all time.
all
Nas,
time.
All
Nas,
time.
yes.
Of course, like look, I would go as far as saying
All time.
All time. Let's go, guys.
Yeah.
All
can I
time.
bust?
Why would you say can I bust? Back off your answer, sir.
Yeah.
It's an album this guy put out.
Ow. One album.
Yeah,
That one. He's got 5 albums, but that one.
One.
that one.
That one. Hey, that one was worthy. That one he would never top
Cannabis?
that one.
50 years of hip hop
Cannabis.
on one album. Which album was it? I'm curious.
Self-titled.
Can I
Yeah.
bust?
Why would you say Nas?
I would say that was because Nas is 53 years old
So he was.
and he's still relevant today.
So he's 3 years older than.
And he's still relevant today.
And Jay-Z is what? 52? 1?
Yeah, she's 55, if not 56.
But Nas was the first in the party.
But Nas is still relevant today. Like he put
As,
out
as a rapper.
as a rapper.
Okay.
He's in the mix with your Kendricks, your J. Cole's, your Drakes, right there with them.
Interesting. Interesting take.
Tell me another 53-year-old rapper who's in the mix
Me, I
with
don't
these
know
guys.
about
Africa
50.
Bambara.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
50.
brah.
Hey,
Say,
you know,
Kiara's one.
even what's
those
his-
are those are
even Big
pioneers.
Daddy Kane spitting flames, man.
Yeah, actually true.
Ah,
Actually,
Tigger!
fact, he's
Dude,
right.
dude.
No, he's right. Yes.
Like
He's
these
got a,
days,
yeah, recently he's got a song with Busta Rhymes. and
No, I
Busta
know,
Rhymes.
but I mean, come on, man. Big Daddy K.
I'm not saying
BDK, boss.
yeah. But also like my greatest of all time,
Yeah.
it doesn't fit any of y'all's criteria, but I
Hmm.
would say Pharaoh Monch.
Hey, all day, bro.
I would say Pharaoh.
The thing with Pharaoh is like, so I saw recently that what is the guy? Lupe is teaching at MIT,
That's right. Teaching hip hop.
teaching hip hop
Yes.
at MIT.
I'll tell you
bro.
guys this though. Funny enough, I was you guys 10 years ago. If you ask me
You're a
who,
Pharaoh fan.
no. If you ask me who I think is the king of hip hop, I would say the Jizza.
Hmm.
Really?
Yes, back in the day. But that would be because simply of his writing skill. Nobody writes like him. But I did consider other aspects.
I hear you. And that's why I'm just
As
doing
well.
it selfishly from in a day and age where number one, you can disappear. Like how long did Wayne till when Wayne didn't drop his album for a year,
Yeah.
He was gone.
he was gone.
That's right.
His relevance just kind of people were just relying
Yep.
on his past, even when he started coming back. What.
Sure.
Pharaoh Monch disappears for 10 years.
Comes back.
You have
Comes back, it's like he never left.
you have to understand, right?
Mm.
There's
The-
guys like Farrah Monch, there's guys like Yasit May, right?
Mm.
Who their music is timeless.
Yep.
Like Under 3 Stacks. Timeless music.
That's also one of those like controversial talks in the community, isn't it? It's like, are we how big an influence is Under 3 Stacks?
Too much. Because he doesn't even have to be in the room. If you see 103,000 next to a rapper, that rapper becomes a conversation immediately. They might have been at the airport together. Do you have a song with him? Did he drop some bars for you? How much did he charge?
But why?
He's that good. That guy, I always believe that Under 3,000 finished the book of rhyming. Like he completed the subject. The syllabus, he finished it.
Hmm.
And he did it so quickly. There was nothing else for him to do.
There was a stat that was released in about 2009-ish, and it was about those stats like there was one which said rappers who use the most original words and
with the largest
and ASAP
vocabulary.
Rock was like
A$AP Rock was over there.
they even had to
But you know the funny,
tighten the
but you
scale.
know who was second?
Who?
The entire Wu-Tang Clan was second.
Oh yeah, true that. Wu-Tang Clan and Method Man was still far at the
That's
back,
right.
and he's still my favorite.
Jizza was
Wu-Tang.
there.
Who was at the top?
A$AP Rock,
A$AP Rock.
white boy.
Yep.
but he's like
When I listen to him,
like
he
a-
goes over my head,
he's like a
but
poet.
the
It's
guy
like
is
it's crazy.
killed.
With
He's
ASAP Rock.
he's like not ASAP
Not
Rocky.
ASAP Rocky, Aesop Rock.
Aesop.
Yes, Aesop Rock.
Ah.
That guy. And then around that same time, there was also another stat that was sent out about rappers who use the most rhyming.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember who was number one, but for me, number four was my pride because it was Shailin.
Oh,
Shailin, I mean, like
No, Shining is yeah,
Shailin. If you think of his lyrical content,
yeah.
it was multiple syllabic rhyming, and he always like somehow made things rhyme.
Ironically, this dude looks like Shining.
I do. Interesting.
Yeah. When Shining was coming
The,
out,
the,
the dress.
Let me ask you a question though.
Yeah.
Like in terms of the future,
Mm.
right? Say the next 5 years.
Mm.
Where do you guys see, if you do see local hip hop?
Mm.
Where do you see it going, or do you see it going anywhere?
Uh, Look, right now I've had the privilege of meeting these young kids, and I think the problem with 6 years and down type kids is that there's this expectation of an overnighter.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
you got
success,
guys
yeah.
like, first of all, a guy like Raymondo is like,
Gee.
I think he quit, right? Doesn't rap anymore,
Wow.
bro. Raymond is not even.
So what happened?
He
Why
didn't even
did
reach
he
it.
quit?
He just said, "No, I'm not doing it."
It wasn't worth
I think he got married, and then
it. Ali, that dude.
Ali, the dude. We don't talk about Mark Mushiba because
He'll
at this,
drop things every now and then.
at
And
this point with Mark Mushiba, it's like
So is it like guys need a challenge? Maybe.
no. We are saying hip hop.
Yes. I'm very
As
specific.
far as rap, we've got a lot of rap.
Yeah, I'm very specific
Mm.
because
Lot
you
of
see,
Mm.
I believe, right? I don't, I don't like to say that rap is a bad thing, all right? But
Of course it's
I
not.
always like to believe that hip hop is the foundation,
Yeah.
okay? Because for every 6ix9ine, for every Triple X Tentacion, for every little peep,
Little young.
for every young thug, you know,
Yeah.
there's a KRS, there's a Master Ace, there's
Mm.
all there's people underneath that are ensuring that the entire structure stays alive, and we
Mm.
need to do the same thing. That's what I think. And back home, we're really trying hard to get that foundation going. So we've got guys like Scar. Scar is from back in the day, but he's still relevant today, still doing his thing. He's got a song called Big Man that I hope you do play later on, next week, next month,
Mm.
whenever.
Yeah.
There's guys like Apollo Diablo, really dope MC. I'm gonna put you onto his music as well.
Yeah.
There's guys like Chubb Heights, aka Chabito. That's a homie of mine as well, who's really dope.
Mm.
So there's a lot of guys, right? There's guys like Lex, Quahela. There's a homie of mine, Touch Motwak Twak, you know, and these guys are the foundation.
So what could then, I think, because we got 9 more
Yeah.
minutes to go.
Yeah.
What is it then? Is it like, is there an oversaturation of rap music per se?
No. So what happens is every hip hop artist, right, equals 10 rappers. Because remember, a rapper is only saying words because they want to get paid. So they follow trends. A hip hop artist communicates. He tells you what the rapper is thinking about but cannot say.
Mm.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So what we need to do is we need our hip hop artists who become poets, who become speakers.
Yeah.
It's going a mile away.
We need those guys to be very intentional about once in a while, not every day, because the everyday stuff is for the rappers.
Mhm.
Once in a while, they have to drop material that will shake the foundation of rap, not of hip hop,
Mm,
but of rap. Because what happens is when those foundations are shaken,
yeah.
then the rappers start getting serious. They're like, you know what? This
There's
old head,
levels to this thing.
this old head just dropped the bomb. I need to do something.
I remember when Redman broke Twitter.
Ah, yeah.
There was the BET cipher.
Yeah,
And yo,
yeah. So so that's what I feel, bro. Like I feel like without without the foundation, the whole structure will not hold weight.
So the idea is that somebody has to level that up.
Yeah, and you guys are that person.
I think the frustration comes, sometimes, and this has happened a lot in events where I would recite something and then in the middle of it, I look at the audience and think,
You don't get it. But are you doing it for them or are you doing it for you?
well, there's a
Be-
for you structure, but
be-
there's like at some point you gotta exercise logic. You see, it's like
No, but because there's of course like Nas has a song on his album. What was the album with Takeover?
yeah, I see.
You see it. Remember that
Mm,
song with Mary J. Blige,
yeah.
the Braveheart Party, which had to be removed from every subsequent release because it was just that horrible.
hmm,
So it's supposed to be a club song, and it he had to apologize to Mary J. Blige
hmm.
officially
Yeah,
so that it was bad
she was the main feature
on the song. Yes, it was bad.
Uh-huh.
So even hip hop artists once in a while are allowed to dabble into something fun,
Mm.
right?
It's like, look, right now, for example, I'll give you a good example.
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar's friends are not in a space right now where they can allow him to do a feel good type
You
song.
see what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
like he already put himself up as the conscious type
Yes,
dude.
yes.
And
True.
so every song he puts out
Has to
better have a conscious message.
but here's the funny thing. There's a song, King Kunta.
Mm-hmm. I was playing that just the other day.
I got a dome to pick.
that you come from. That's like West Coast club proper.
It is.
Stepping.
What was it?
Yeah.
Getting
Call
your
it
walk on.
G-funk.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
some serious G-funk,
So
bro.
so you just have to be smart about it. You don't have to be poppy. You know.
But I think after that album especially,
Yeah.
for me, man, I'm a good Kid Man City Top fan.
Yes.
I think that
Same here. That was
like the
dope
time
album.
when
Yeah.
this dude, because that whole project, right? It had this very non-cacophonous type sound. Like
Yes.
the whole album was like one long beat.
That's right.
You see what I
Very
mean?
left field. Very
And then we came to
conceptual album as well.
Pimp a Butterfly, and that kind of had like it had this at the end of each song he would recite the same piece of poetry.
Yeah.
And add an extra bit.
Yeah, add an extra bit. But this new one is like I it's like wealth, you know what I mean? It's like
Opulence.
he's
Yeah, he's
that
there.
successful
Yeah, he's there. Yeah.
that I can relate in
Yes.
my capacities. Like
You know what's funny? That's exactly how I felt.
yeah,
I was like, okay, I understand why you're doing it,
but I
but
don't
I feel like
understand.
it's not for me anymore.
Yeah.
Them was like
From Grief
was the last one.
N95
I
to
was
We
just like,
Fight Together. Even the second part of that album,
Yeah.
Mr. Moral and the Big
with
the Big Steppers.
like I'll tell you, like this is why for me Nas is the guy because with the King's Disease series, he really
Yo, but
he was
King's Disease.
current, but you could relate even at
Yeah.
40 something years old, you could relate to what he was saying with
Yeah,
with current beats.
But King's Disease was very that's the first dude I saw do like a hip hop orchestra, bro.
Dude, I saw that live, bro.
So I said to myself, nah.
I saw that live.
Were you there?
I was there. I was there when he did it in Joburg. He did the entire
Illmatic?
Illmatic
Oh!
with the orchestra. I was right there with him. The best part of the show
The
was
naivety.
when he finished and he asked the orchestra if they want to stay, if they want to leave, and they said no, we're leaving. And then Hate Me Now starts playing.
You know what,
We
guys?
lost our minds.
Look, we got 3 minutes, and the thing is, My favorite project from now was with Ziggy.
Yeah.
Distant
Yes,
relatives.
this. Oh my God.
Oh,
Take your things.
Yes.
blood.
But can
Yes,
we
sir.
agree though?
Yes, sir.
That
Can we agree
yeah.
that
It's about blasphemy. Listen,
uh,
blasphemy.
that the second best uh, performer on those songs was
Blasphemy.
Nas?
No, okay. Listen.
Because Ziggy went all
Guys,
out.
no. Listen, guys, no,
Guys,
listen.
let's be honest.
Let me break it down in 30 seconds, okay?
Cool.
You have to understand that album was recorded at his studio in Jamaica.
Ziggy.
It was produced in Jamaica.
So he had a home
All
ground
the
advantage.
beats were made in Jamaica, and Nas was invited
Jamaica.
to Jamaica to take part in that project.
But Ziggy was doing the
But he killed, no doubt.
blood.
No doubt. There's a song, that Sabali song, Patience,
Oh, what?
when he asks,
Sabali.
are we just growing, or are we just growing tall?
Sounds like that fanatic thing.
Yeah.
That thing, I was just like, this dude is crazy. Like, I've never thought about it that way. To say, am I like, as I get taller?
Oh my
Is this
God.
just height? Well, am I also like getting wise? Yeah, am I getting wiser?
Guys, look.
Oh man, can
For
go
a
on
second,
forever.
we can go on forever. You see, the problem with hip hop is that too many stories to tell. And,
Yeah,
and
true.
I was privileged to sit at an event where Shikololo was, and Shikololo is like
Oh man,
one of our main
oh
dudes.
man,
Back in the day,
that's
there was a group
no, that
called
was my
Shiko Del,
that's my dude right there, Shikulolo.
and those dudes, man, it's like they set a standard too.
Yeah.
You know, and I can understand why. I think when I started getting I got into rap music very early, like five,
Nice.
grade five. And I recall when I started doing raps, my uncle came to me and said, "Oh, the question he said was, oh, you are an MF now. You're an MF rapper
Oh,
or an MF artist." I said, I get it, you know. I couldn't explain why. I was just like, man, guys, I love this thing. You have no idea. And so I became my only standard. So every time I would write a piece, I'm like, I've got to sound better than I did yesterday.
yeah,
You see what
yeah.
I mean?
Fact.
And so I think as we close it off as well, like ideally, how do we want to bring the conversation back to the table?
I think a lot of content creation, like right now, we're streaming live on Facebook and on
Yeah.
LinkedIn and on YouTube as well.
Yeah, okay.
Of course, this stream is gonna be cut up and edited so that it exists for time immemorial.
Yeah.
We need to do that more. So in your spaces, even here, you need to really invite people into your spaces, stream with them, allow people in different environments to appreciate what hip hop has to bring. Because if you're attracted to hip hop, it'll never change.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Very simple as that, man.
Yeah.
So between us in the building with us tonight, the ideas we would like to connect with you as MCs, get a hold of us on 061 291 2002 or 061 291 2003. It's very, very simple. We would like to create an algorithm, an African hip hop algorithm. And we speak about hip hop, man. I watched the Hennessy Cypher in Ghana.
Yeah.
I say, like, so from Zambia, Ghana, Kenya,
I'll tell you right now.
but I was like, what?
I'll tell you right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick one person from Namibia who's going to be at the Hennessy ciphers that are going to be in Johannesburg at the end of the year.
Bro, talk to me now. Talk to me
I'm
straight.
talking to you now. I'm telling you now. Telling you right now.
Guys, like
Tell
you have
me
no
the
idea.
thing.
You see,
I'm telling you now.
the hip hop like if you read this material and you understand where it stems from, it's hip hop is like reggae. It's such a revolutionary
that's
sort
right,
of
that's
art
right.
form. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Guys like Bob got shot at. NWA was a force in the Black
Imagine.
Panther movement.
Look what happened to Pac.
Look at what happened to Pac. This
Yes.
dude was in and out of prison because of revolution. What we're saying is this, bro. If you're a trap artist, I love you. I think I appreciate what you do, but it's okay. We You've done your part, and that's okay.
Can we want our ball back?
We are back. We are back, and we are creating a
Oh,
sound from
goodness
now on.
me.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
We
gotcha.
are telling the story now. This done. It's
No,
done.
if you're gonna do it
Do it well.
well.
No. No. The thing is, you guys are giving hope. I'm
Man.
not giving no
No,
hope.
no. Can I interject?
Mm.
Let's look at a group like Coast Contra.
Rappers,
Right?
rappers.
Right? But here's the thing. Before we heard of them because they did a boom bap thing and they revealed that these are scholars of the game, that
Mm.
these are MCs, they're lyricists.
They were first on.
But you see, we could not, because of the fact that they were, doing what was trendy, we didn't get the opportunity to actually appreciate them as MCs and lyricists.
Mm.
They didn't change. They were as creative then as they are in these
And
ciphers now.
you know
But
what's
it's just
funny?
the medium, the packaging.
But you know
Mm.
what's interesting is actually hip hop is in demand right now. That's what's interesting because
Mhm.
if you trap, you're one in a million, you know. But if you're actually rapping, like we do in hip hop, nowadays you tend to stand out.
I mean, let's look at the last cipher competition that happened.
Yeah.
Okay, the top MC. So like it was a lot of people doing the what's popular, what's
Yeah.
popping off. The winners were people like Kondwani,
Yeah.
very smooth, chilled,
Like
boom
rap,
bap
like
type.
proper rapping.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, there were people jumping on the monitors and speakers and whatnot and yelling, chant and response thing. This dude literally performed sitting down on the steps of the stage and rapping.
And he's the
And
one who
that
won.
and he's the one who won.
So I'm saying,
The one who took the crown after that, Fritz Elgato. What was he doing?
same thing.
Fritz
Also,
is my skating dude, man.
yeah,
Yeah. So that's
tell him to get
So
serious.
guys, so these are guys you should definitely like document,
Yeah.
have them tell their stories because another thing is the disrespect that comes is also because people don't know us as individuals.
Yeah.
They only know us as part of the hip hop community.
Yeah.
So if they get
And
to
the
appreciate,
stigma
yes.
that comes with it.
So if
What-
they get to appreciate, then
Mm.
dude, it really changes. Right. I had a conversation just now with a big brother of mine that I haven't seen in a very long time, and he knows I'm a hip hop head, but he appreciated where I was coming from as an individual.
Yeah.
So I think that's all we need to do. I mean, you're a poet, right?
Mm.
But being a poet doesn't stop you from being a hip hop head.
Dude, I'm gonna take this game over so bad, y'all ain't ready.
Take it, sir. Take it.
Kenya,
Take your
Southern Africa,
Let's
bro,
go.
Ethiopia.
Let's go.
Man's just been busy, eh?
Let's do it.
Studying you all. When
Let's
I
do it.
come through, it's cannon blood.
Let's do it.
It's gonna be crazy. But nonetheless, man, guys, thanks so much for making time with us. I think this is one of the hip hop talks never end because
It
it's
never
always
ends.
like a Jay-Z or Nas.
Hey, worse.
Busta Rhymes.
Killer Priest.
Ah, but nice.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
easy.
you.
Shout out to all the non-black rappers from back in the days because those dudes had to do like
Yes, Everlast.
Hey, yeah, man.
Shout out to Everlast. Those dudes had to do so much, bro. Like
Just to prove
the amount of hoops, and I think Eminem was very smart in just finding like
Found the niche, bro. Just
so now when we say
That
white
way.
rapper, we immediately think
Yes.
but there were dudes before this dude, bro.
Yeah, there were
Absolutely.
dudes before, there were dudes
Aesop Rock,
Yes. Atmosphere.
Atmosphere Rock.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Dude,
saying?
from Minnesota.
from Minnesota. I don't even know if he's rapping anymore,
He-
but
he still
guys,
is.
go check
Oh,
this
and
dude out.
look at the dudes from Europe. Loop Troop. Primo.
Dude,
What?
you guys know Vinny Paz.
Vinny
Yeah.
Paz, yes.
Crazy.
Whew.
Crazy.
Again, so here's the thing. What most of my listeners know is rappers. Hip hop artists are not very commercial people.
Let's get to
True.
it.
That's
you,
because
you
that-
need to be deliberate to know
Exactly.
hip hop.
But here's the thing: the reason they're not commercial is because they do it from it's passion, it's from the
Passion.
love, right? And this is
Yeah.
why I'm saying you can be a poet, you can be a public speaker,
Yeah.
and still do hip hop. But I have a friend of mine. I'm sure if he's listening, he's gonna shout at me tomorrow.
Yeah.
I have a friend of mine who does it because he wants to, but he doesn't release it. You know, release it, because the only impact it's going to have will come only when someone else hears it. If you're doing all that work and you're putting all that work out and it's staying in a vault, what's the point? So it has to come out. That's
So,
the thing.
in other words, man, big shout out to big homie Calligraph. He's,
Calligraph Jones from
Yeah.
Kenya, yes.
So look,
For me, that's the biggest rapper in Africa.
yeah, no, he is.
Like,
But
sorry.
he's
Thanks
very,
for putting me on. I need to check him out.
No, you
you
should.
know Calligraph?
You don't know Calligraph Jones? Woo,
Hey,
crazy.
I know Manifest. I know Proverb.
Calligraph
I
Jones
met Pro, man. I was doing a stint at Metro FM last year, and I met Pro. Pro, cool dude.
is
Man.
a very
I
cool
met
dude,
actually
yeah.
with even Speedy. He bought me Mohudu Mande, whatever they call it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mahodu.
Mohudu Mande, man. This dude is cool dude, man.
Yeah, Pro is
The idea is this. I think we have the biggest youth population in the world. Is Africa.
Facts.
If we create a really good, like if we create an algorithm for hip hop, it's game over.
That's it. And the only way to
contributes
do
to
that
GDP
is to
now.
collaborate.
Exactly.
Collaborate, feed into each other's cultures, into each
Yeah.
other's spaces,
Yeah,
and the rest will be history.
exactly. So what you're gonna be hearing more often on Freestyle Friday is gonna be more bot MCs like that. Shout out to Hemo BSM for Stratford kind of between 10 and 11. We don't want national to be owned by Namibians only per se, because if we speak an African language, bro,
Yeah.
we are taking over.
And
in
you know,
2 months.
African language is not necessarily all of us speaking one language.
Yeah.
Sometimes us speaking our own languages but saying the same thing is more impactful.
Those similarities, that's what's
That's
gonna
right.
get us winning.
Thank you.
So big shout out, man. Thanks so much for making time with us. We are a bit over the time, but we are excited
As
like that
always.
because it's hip hop. And so don't forget, every Friday between 11 and 12 is Freestyle Friday right here on NBC National FM. A big shout out to you for listening to us. You're more than welcome to get a hold of us as well. And nonetheless, up until next time, episode of Good One in the company of NBC National FM. Thank you so much, guys.
Peace.
Said I need my flowers.
Oh, you're here.
Man, these hip hop talks, they don't end, bro.
They don't end, bro. Never end.
They can't either.
All right, guys. Thank you so
Oh,
much
we're live
for
as
tuning
well.
in. We're still live. We're still live. Thank you for tuning in. You're over there. That's the camera over
Oh,
there.
okay, bad,
Yeah, thank you for tuning in, guys.
man.
We'll catch you next week. Peace.
Oh, these hip hop talks, they don't end. You know what's also weird? Most hip hop acts are the most